Zuckerberg. Oh my God. So Zuckerberg has had 2 days of hearing in front of Congress. Now, I haven't listened to it, so I'm not going to comment on the content of it. What I want to comment on is just on the ridiculous nature of the whole process. The idea that these parasites, senators and congressmen who have done nothing, nothing productive in their lives, that sit up high in the benches up high and look down on productive geniuses like Zuckerberg and other business people, and lecture them on how they should be doing their business and how they should be treating their customers and what are the right business practices to engage in is absolutely unequivocally disgusting. Disgusting. There's a scene in a movie about oh my God, what's his name? Getty. No, not Getty. What am I talking about? Getty. The guy who was the richest man in the world and was crazy and was secluded in his thing in his suite in Vegas. What's the name of that guy? Come on, somebody out there, help me out here. Nobody's helping me out there. And there was a movie about him with. All right, I'm losing it, people. Howard Hughes. Thank you, Stuart. I knew somebody would come through. And who played Howard Hughes in the movie? Who played Howard? And what was the movie with Howard Hughes? But there was a great movie where Howard Hughes is basically lecturing Congress. It was called The Aviator. It's a fabulous movie, and not Hugh Hefner, Howard Hughes, Hugh Hefner. Leonardo DiCaprio plays it and he lectures. It's the best scene in the movie, and it's one of the best scenes in any modern movie. He basically lectures Congress on how they, how dare they challenge him? He is winning the war, and who the hell are they? And it's fabulous. Well, I would love to see one of these businesses stand up and say, "What the hell have you done? You thieving little nobodies. All you do is spend other people's money, spend it with no regards for its value, spend it like there is no tomorrow. You're spending not only our money, you're spending future generations' money. You're going to enslave. You're moving towards enslaving future generations to the state because they're going to owe so much money. You bastards, you nobodies, go run a business. Go run a business with people like you breathing down our neck. I mean, oh my God, the idea, there is nothing more despicable than congressmen and senators lecturing businessmen. I mean, this happened, if you go back to 1913, this happened in the famous hearings where they brought J.P. Morgan in front of them and lambasted him for what? For saving the U.S. economy single-handedly in 1907 from financial catastrophe. I mean, these people, and of course, what was the outcome of that? What was the outcome of the 1913 hearings where J.P. Morgan was dragged in front of Congress, insulted? We're talking about the greatest financier maybe in human history. We're talking about a guy who single-handedly saved the U.S. economy in 1907. We're talking about a man who funded almost every major industry out there, including Thomas Edison, who couldn't get a loan from anybody. We're talking about a man that changed America, that is more responsible for the wealth that we have today, the accumulated wealth, than any probably other human being on the planet in history. And he's dragged in front of Congress to be lectured to by a bunch of nobodies. And they were just not as bad in 1913. They're worse today. But the principle was just as bad. People who spend other people's money with absolutely no regard, who regulate, who control, who are power-lusting little creeps. That's what I think of Congress and Republicans. Democrats should have seen Republicans go after Facebook. If you still think Republicans represent any, I don't know where you're living. I don't know where you live. In 1913, the result was what? The result was the establishment of the Federal Reserve. The result was ultimately the capitulation of J.P. Morgan and his acceptance of the fact that government was going to regulate his business, which it was money, take away the ability of banks to print their own money. He completely, after these hearings, completely gave in, completely surrendered. And what you got was the establishment of the Federal Reserve with J.P. Morgan and other bankers' agreement. Basically, what you got is the nationalization of the banking system. You got the nationalization of money. You got the nationalization. You created the most powerful financial institution in American history that has done nothing but create instability and inflation and devastation and slower productivity growth and slower economic growth, and has made us poorer than we should be, the Federal Reserve. And now, the last time I remember, I mean, CEOs are being dragged in front of Congress constantly, but the last time I really remember, you remember after the financial crisis, there was a period in which the auto industry was being dragged in front of Congress. Of course, the bankers were being dragged in front of Congress to be grilled on derivatives in the financial crisis, when I would bet you there's not one single senator, not one single congressman who knows what a frigging derivative is. Sorry, I'm swearing, but I'm angry. These people are unbelievable, right? So Facebook has done some bad stuff. If fraud was committed, the government should get involved. If fraud wasn't committed, they should butt out. None of their business. We customers, if we Zuckerberg is doing with Facebook, we will leave, or we will complain, or we will change our behavior on Facebook, maybe not provide as much information. But for Congress, what business, what individual rights are being violated? The Congress needs to intervene. Again, if there was fraud committed, if Facebook illegally or by committing fraud, transferred information to some third party that it did not have a right to do so, then the FBI and the police should be involved. Congress has no business here. It's going to be the result. The result is going to be the regulation of social media. The result is going to be the same result as we saw with bankers, where the result was Dodd-Frank, the same result as we saw with J.P. Morgan, which was the establishment of the Federal Reserve. And really what happened with the auto industry is we got auto bailouts as a result. So massive government injection and interference into private contracts and private relationships. It's just despicable. And I can't think of anything. I mean, there's a lot of things that make me mad in the political system. There's a lot of things, obviously, that Trump has done that make me mad. There's a lot of things this Congress does that make me mad. But one of the greatest injustices, one of the greatest just visually disturbing things is to watch a brilliant CEO, which Zuckerberg is, like him or dislike him, he's a brilliant CEO. A productive genius, somebody who's changed the world. I mean, think about how much time you're watching this on Facebook, how much time you spend on Facebook, how much impact what he has done has had on you. There's nothing that makes me more angry, more ticked off than Congress interrogating a CEO. And these CEOs, if I were a CEO, I would have gone to Congress in jeans with a T-shirt. I'd say, hey, this is how I go to work. You guys don't deserve any better. You're not some. And I would have stood up given a speech about how they did not have a right to interrogate me, that they should not be in a position to interrogate me, and I would have walked out. Let them subpoena me. Let them use the subpoena to bring me in front of them. Let it be naked, the use of force. Somebody, Ian, says on Super Chats on YouTube, it reminds me of the communist trials in Congress, except they're doing the capitalist trials. Yeah, I mean, this is capitalist trials. That's right. I mean, it's not even a trial because there's no pretense. There's no pretense of a trial here. They are lambasting Zuckerberg. Then they will go behind closed doors into their committees and they will write laws that regulate him. Now, I read an article that says, oh, no, this is really what Zuckerberg wants, because by regulating Facebook, what the regulation will actually do is prevent competition, which is true. I mean, that's the sad thing. I don't think this is what Zuckerberg wants, but it's true. If you turn Facebook into a government-regulated utility, you'll ban competition, and Facebook will basically make money till the end of time, and we will have fewer choices. That's exactly what's going to happen, exactly what will happen. If government gets involved in regulating these companies, all that'll happen is not more competition. What'll happen is less competition. What government will actually do is create barriers to entry. Any regulations constitute barriers to entry for people who want to compete, for people who want to enter. So, yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. I know it happens with CEOs in all kinds of industries. I know, but this is these. I mean, I can't say this enough. These little people, these power-lusting politicians, who, get their thrills by attacking successful, productive geniuses, and that's what it is. And you thought Ted Cruz was any better? Ted Cruz behaved himself abominably at these hearings. So did every single one of these people, because it's an opportunity to show how great they are, how important they are, how much they care about you. They're saving you from evil Facebook. Ugh, it makes me so angry. Anyway, my anger seems to be driving people away. So yeah, I mean, that's what I've got to say about it. I'm not going to say anything about what Zuckerberg said. I'm just going to say I expect government to go behind closed doors, come out with bipartisan bill to regulate technology companies. And all you on the right, all you who've been yelling at YouTube and Facebook, oh, they discriminate against conservatives or whatever. Yep, this is it. This is when government is going to take away the freedom on the internet, the last bastion of freedom, and it's going to start regulating what is done on the internet. I don't know if you saw people like Tucker Carlson, enthusiastic, passionate about regulating internet companies, and not just in terms of privacy, but also in terms of speech. I mean, these are your conservatives. This is Donald Trump, who's also excited about regulating, particularly Amazon. He wants Amazon because that's his passion. He hates Jeff Bezos. All right, now